Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion. I'm joined by Oronde,
What's good?
Matt,
What up?
and today we are back talking about our Let's Talk NFL series, talking about the LA Rams. First off, the Rams last season, their record was what?
10 and 7,
10
I
10
believe.
and 7,
10
winner
and
of their
7. No
division.
one really expected them to really do much last year. Won a division. Um, what are we thinking about this team right now?
I they have they're going to either be the same or be even a little bit better because of their great defense. Matthews back, probably going to be a lot more healthy.
Yeah.
They had a really good tight end out of Terrence Ferguson. They had a smart draft with the minimal amount of picks that they did because they did a lot of moving.
I mean, yeah, they
They did
did.
a bit of movement, but they drafted well. They re-signed Tutu Atwell and they went and got Devontae Adams. So I am high in the Rams. I'm going to be. They're my favorite team out of the NFC West,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
especially considering that they only lost to the Eagles last year in the playoffs. The
right.
eventual Super Bowl champions.
I agree with you, Oronde, because I think the Rams are in a honestly good spot right now because you have a young defense who I will say their run defense was not good last year,
Right.
but the two biggest games they gave up were against Saquon, so that's a whole different story. But again, yeah, their defense was not the best. O line wise, I think came in looking promising, but injuries killed them. But they managed to find some honestly decent starters from their injuries, so I think they have a pretty good core there. You go and get Devontae Adams in the free agency, who's still an elite talent, I think. Finally, with a competent quarterback, after these last couple years. Puka right next to him too, I think is an incredible pairing. Um, You still have Kyron Williams, who for some reason gets overlooked every year and still ends up putting up 20 touchdowns, which is just ridiculous. And, I just really like what the Rams have been doing. It's not super pretty, it's not super flashy, it's not a lot, but they don't really need a lot right now. And it's just kind of depth pieces and potential starters is what they did in the draft. And I think they could go on a pretty big run for sure.
Yeah, I think we look at the NFC as a whole, like it's very vulnerable right now.
Hmm.
I mean, you got the Eagles, but the Eagles they lost a lot. They also added a bunch as well, but I digress. But you have the Eagles, and like that's really it. Like no one has really a prime number two. I mean, you want to say the Lions, but
You want to say the Lions,
the
but
Lions
they haven't been.
they're a step behind.
Yeah.
And so I mean,
Commanders could be one
Commanders,
potentially.
they're a little, well, they're not young in age, but they're a little young when it comes to coreness of the team. And so, like, the NFC is up for grabs all around. It's up for grabs. And I think, a team like the Rams who are experienced, who's been to that Super Bowl and has won it, they can go out there and reach and grab it. Do I think they will this season? Who knows? But I think, you look at this division, you look at these games that they're going to be playing, we're gonna talk about here in a second. Everything is in their hands to lose. It's their game to lose. It's their Super Bowl to lose. Go out there, be competitive every week, and they'll be fine, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
so,
agree.
looking at the schedule, Rhonda, you got it pulled up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get someone to write these down too.
All right. Starting off week one,
I
they
got you.
host Houston, midday game.
Perfect. Houston,
Houston, week one,
Houston, week one.
they're gonna win that.
they're gonna win that game.
All right. They travel to Tennessee.
Win.
Right?
Yep.
So that's two.
They travel to Philadelphia.
Give me the loss.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
give me
going
the
to agree
loss.
with you there. A rematch, but a good
Agree.
rematch.
Hey, it was close last year in the snow, mind you.
Yeah.
Um, then divisional game, Thursday night football, San Francisco hosting.
So we'll
Or I skipped the Colts, but they beat the Colts
they're
anyways.
gonna beat the Colts. Let's do our rule of 3-3. So
What?
the 3-3 rule with the divisions. So 3 wins, 3 losses for their divisions. So if we're giving them wins against Tennessee, Colts, who was the first team? Texans?
Yep, Texans.
Okay. Then we add the 3 division wins. So that's 6. total. Okay.
Yep.
So who's their next non-division game?
Their next non-division game is they travel to Baltimore.
Ooh, that's a good game.
What the hell?
I'm gonna give them the loss.
Oh,
I think Baltimore is a much better team.
yes.
So
So 6 wins.
Baltimore, yeah. This next game comes with a really big caveat. They play Jacksonville
It's in.
in London, and Jacksonville tends to win in London.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Jacksonville, when it comes to
What
their
what week is
situations,
that?
that's week 7. Jacksonville tends to win in London. I
Against the Rams, though,
I know it's against the Rams, but I don't know.
I'm giving them the win. I think they have 7 wins.
I'll be the only one that says loss here. I'll be the only
No
one.
way. No way. 7 wins.
All right. Then week 8 they have the bye week.
Yep.
Then coming out of the bye week they host New Orleans. New Orleans.
Win. Win. Win.
Then their next non-division game because they have two back to back. Uh, they host Tampa Bay Sunday Night Football.
I think they beat the Bucks.
Hmm.
I agree.
I'm there for it. I think that's going to be a shootout, but I trust McVay over freaking Todd Bowles any day of my life.
I can reason with that. Even though I'm high in Tampa Bay, I can reason with that. Then they travel to Carolina.
Win.
Okay. Next non-division game, they host the Detroit Lions.
I'll give them a loss. They're
I'll
coming
give
off.
them a yeah, I agree. I give them a loss there because Detroit usually
And
does.
it's not prime time, so Detroit has better chances of winning.
Let's go. Yeah, give me Detroit.
Then next non-prime time, non-division game, they travel to Atlanta. Monday Night Football,
Win.
week 17.
Ooh, that could be a really close game too.
Oh, that's gonna
That's
be.
a big game.
That's good. That's going to have really big playoff
Okay,
implications for
so
both teams.
I'm leaning the Rams because
Experience.
experience. I think their defense is better because Atlanta just can't figure that out yet.
Oh, but
Penny,
Atlanta's head coach came from the Rams.
Yep,
yeah,
coaching tree.
that's right. But
Hmm.
also, the Rams are more experienced and just have more balance, whereas the Falcons, yes, they have a lot of young talent, but we don't know yet. Like Bijan, of course, we know who he's going to be.
That will be.
Penix, we really don't know because he played whatever 3 or 4 games. Obviously, he did well, but who knows? Their defense always decent, but they can't figure out an edge rusher. So hopefully,
They just
Jalen
picked up
Walker,
two.
yeah, James
They do
Pierce and
have
Jalen
two.
Walker. So hopefully, they can pan out.
If you're there draft night, we reacted pretty well to that.
I mean, I think it will be. It's week 17 though.
Week
See
17.
that that could be a potential playoff
Because
game.
last
Yeah.
year, after week 12, which they lost to Philly,
I
they
agree.
went on a straight up 5 game win streak.
Who'd they play?
They beat New Orleans in New Orleans.
Thank you.
They
Cool.
beat Buffalo at home by 2.
Yep, that game was
Beat
insane.
beat
Okay.
San Fran in San Fran. Beat the
Yep.
Jets in New York, and then
Mm-hmm.
hosted and beat Arizona. And they
Uh,
lost to Seattle to close out the season. Won 6 of the last 5 to close out the year. Garoppolo threw for 300 yards in that game, by the way.
okay. So are we saying like 10, 11 wins again?
That is the consensus. I think they
Right?
repeat that and probably cling to the top of the division
I think
again.
So
the
we're saying they're going. All these teams are going to sit here at 10 and 10. Three teams are going to sit here at 10 and 7.
Yeah, they're stealing wins from other divisions
And
because there's
who's going
other
to
teams getting worse.
who is losing in the NFL next year?
Who's
In the
losing?
NFC.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's for future video
this is the thing though.
conversations.
This is the thing though, Davion. This is like one of the best divisions in football right now
I agree.
because all these teams have like legit promise and legit can like any of these teams can win the division. It's just The question mark is who's going to be reliable, who's going to stay healthy, and who's going to be, good enough against those big time teams. So it's like, or those division games, I'll just say, like, who's going to step up? Because
Because if
there's,
listen, Davion, you have this division, the NFC West, right?
Yeah.
Two 10-win teams and one 8-win team. Then, I'm speaking of only the good divisions. We have the NFC North,
Yeah.
three triple digit or not triple double digit win
yep,
teams. Then you have the AFC West, three double digit win teams, and a close fourth division, AFC North, two double digits, one 9-win Bengals team. That disappointment, but they were still pretty good.
Yeah.
like
There
there's
are
a there's
there
a
are other
lot
worse
of good
divisions, but
divisions.
there's a lot of top heavy divisions.
There's more good teams now in the league than bad teams, which I think is great to see.
I agree, but that's the question. Like, where are these losses coming from? Well,
The loss
Giants are
the
gonna have.
losses are going to come from the Jets. There's going to come from the Dolphins falling off a cliff. Obviously, the
I think
Browns.
the Giants are going to be screwed this year.
The
Their
Giants
schedule's
are going to be
awful.
screwed. Um,
The what team was that I said in the chat the other day? The Browns. Gee, that's
yeah,
schedule. That's
that
like
schedule
hopefully
is
in 6 weeks.
tiring. They're going to be fighting for their lives. Um, this losses are coming from the Saints. The losses are going to come from the Niners. They're going to give up more losses.
Talk to them.
Maybe Cowboys.
And Cowboys, yes, I'm still not high on them either.
Okay.
Holding back the NFC East from greatness.
Hilarious. Whatever. All right. Well, listen. Any final thoughts? So we're saying, listen, we're sitting here saying 10 wins for the Rams, 10 wins for the Cardinals, 10 wins for Seattle. Niners could potentially get 10 wins as well. So it's like the
That's what
hell,
Vegas thinks. Don't
That's
don't
what
want don't
Vegas
lump our
thinks, though.
thoughts in with Vegas right
what in
there.
the heck?
If to finally rank this division itself, I think it'll go Rams at one,
I agree.
Seahawks at two,
Yep.
Arizona at three. I think it'll
Yeah.
be the
Which
same as last
those two
year.
are interchangeable.
I agree.
hmm And then yeah, Niners at four.
I mean, they're gonna control the playoffs, bro.
Yeah. Hey,
What
did you
the
also?
Also, by the way, the Rams made the playoffs with a negative points differential. By the way, I just wanted to
Yes.
point that out.
bro? Listen, they're gonna Seattle and Cardinals, they both get 10 wins as well, and they go second and third. They will be in the wild card.
This is like what happened to the NFC North.
I'm
And
scared to look
hey,
at
this brings
the
up the conversation. Y'all saw what Goodell was talking about the
uh-huh.
at the owners meeting where it might just be based on record instead of division winners now for the playoff seeding.
We're getting to that point where there's enough parity where we can do that.
Right.
But I wonder if this is just purely speculation. If they implement that rule, would it be based on the previous season's finishing standings? Because you could do that, but it will hurt the product if not all the teams are good. If all the teams are bad, you have to keep it to
Well,
divisions.
I think we have no. I mean, I think we could sit there and someone's going to be good, someone's going to be bad. That's just the harsh reality. Like, no one can sit there. Everybody can't sit there with 10 wins. But I think if you sit there and look, like you have the Rams, the Cardinals, Seattle, who've all had outstanding seasons. But also, you have to think about this as well. Like, the NFL is based off of what division you're playing that year. So this year for the Rams, for the NFC West, the division that they're playing
Is
is
the AFC South.
AFC South and the NFC South. Or yeah, yes, and the NFC
Yeah,
South.
yeah.
And so like
Which
NFC South
those
not
are
not great.
winnable.
AFC South again, not great. And so like who knows?
hmm
Who knows? I
I
don't know.
agree.
I'm looking forward to it though. I think whatever Goodell does, like I mean, I don't know. Whatever he does, it's going to be a matter of time before some change needs to happen with the playoff implications. Because we can't. My thing is, we cannot have teams with 8 and 9 records get into the playoffs. We can't have that.
True.
So whatever he does, it's his decision. But any final thoughts on the Rams, man?
I like I opened up with. I think highly of them, Rams fans. I'm on your side for once. because I went and beat up the Niners. So be happy about it.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm really high on the Rams this year. I think they're going to be just as good as last year. Um, O-line will be a little interesting because they were hit with injuries in the beginning of the year. But like I said, they've managed to keep most of their core and they've found some decent pieces to kind of put in there. So I think they'll be fine.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Mm-hmm. Davion, anything else for you?
I This division has opened my eyes to three teams potentially being 10-7. And I don't know how I feel about that.
It can happen.
It
It
can,
really can happen.
I have not. I'm not.
They have the Rams at plus 195 to win the division, by the way.
What are we doing?
What was their over under? 9?
9.5.
Uh-huh.
I think that's an easy over.
For the the Rams, yes. I thought you were talking
10
about.
wins. Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, well, appreciate y'all for listening. Oronde, Matt, appreciate y'all for being here. I've been your host, Davion, and this has been the post game. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.